talking about what data literacy is, Gartner has a really good definition. So they say, really, if individuals can read, write, and communicate data in context, including an understanding of data sources and constructs, analytical methods, and the techniques that are applied, then using that information to create change or to apply at your organization and make data-driven decisions that result in value, that is true data literacy. So not just can everyone in my organization look at the Tableau dashboard that I created and apply filters, that's not data literacy. That's just simply tool usage, right? But data literacy is truly to its core, if they're looking at that dashboard, if they're recognizing trends, if they're recognizing changes, if they made a change in quarter 1 and they're seeing that change reflected in the data in quarter 2, that is the beginnings of true data literacy. So when we say read data, it really just means understanding which aspects, what elements of the data source are critical to their function. When we say work with data, so can they create, can they acquire it, can they clean it? Is your organization transparent enough with your data sources to allow your people to become data literate enough to work with it? And when they analyze it, are they able to, again, filter, sort, dive in, aggregate, and compare data to really, again, make data-driven decisions? And ultimately, can they argue with it, right? Once they have their hands in it, what can they then do with it? Do they feel confident enough to come with you and say, hi, I have all the information needed to make this change, and here's why you should listen? So if we think of it as a visual, when we talk about reading and analyzing and comprehending, you can see that if they can analyze something, if they can contextualize it, if they can comprehend it, and if they can take ethics into consideration, if they can get creative with the information that they see, and if they can then tell a really good story with it, they're probably data literate. So many individuals believe that prioritizing data quality is step 1 to becoming a data-driven organization. But I think if we take a step back and you look more holistically at what good data looks like, it all comes down to data entry, right? The individuals that are feeding the data into your systems. And so a really good story that I like to tell, a retailer that I cannot name, they had an associate in one of their brick and mortar locations. She's at the front desk, she's checking individuals out, and every time that she checks someone out, she's supposed to say, hey, do you want to join our rewards program? You get 10% off, whatever the case is. She collects their name, their email address, their phone number, and their home address. It's her understanding that it's her job to sign as many people up for this rewards program as possible. That's what her company wants. So in order to get as many people in and out, instead of putting their addresses in and asking them to respell their street name or maybe re-say their zip code, she just puts her own address in there because she knows that one by heart, right? So she's getting the people in and out, right? She's signing as many people up. She's getting their email addresses. And then at the end of the year, the company now has 3,000 data records for one address in one location for one market. And so that is a true definition of someone who's not data literate within an organization impacting the outcomes of marketing or profitability or outreach, right? If we're running an SEO marketing strategy, or if we're trying to do lookalike audiences on Facebook and we have 3,000 records for one zip code, we're going to be way off. Right? And so if that individual had understood the downstream impacts of her actions, she might have done things a little differently. So upskilling the human beings behind the processes and informing those who are inputting the data is just as critical as the teams that are then up the road in the C-suite or in the data teams making decisions with the data.